Welcome back to The Honest Media. Today, we're dissecting Bill Clinton's rapes and his sexual abuse. And these are the details of Juanita Broaddrick's rape as discussed in the 1999 Dateline interview. Then he tries to kiss me again. And the second time he tries to kiss me, he starts biting my lip. He starts to bite on my top lip. And I tried to pull away from him. And then he forces me down on the bed. And I was just very frightened. And I tried to get away from him, and I told him no, that I didn't want this to happen. But he wouldn't listen to me. It was a real panicky situation. I was even to the point where I was getting very noisy, yelling to please stop. And that's when he pressed down on my right shoulder, and he would bite my lip. When everything was over with, he got up, and he straightened himself, and I was crying at the moment. And he walks to the door, and he calmly put on his sunglasses, and before he goes out the door, he says, "You better get some ice on that." And he turned, and I went out the door.
Ridiculous.
Now, it would be one thing if this was just an isolated incident, but it's nowhere near an isolated incident. There's, 6 different women who still, some have been paid off, some have been bought off, some have been intimidated into silence. But there's still 6 women out there who maintain, yes, Bill Clinton raped me or sexually harassed me.
I thought it was up to 17.
17 total harassment victims or extramarital affairs. Which you can say what you want about that. We both come from a libertarian background. So, sure, fine, if you want to have sex. I think that once you're in the contract of marriage, which is a covenant, and you promise your spouse that you're not going to do that, I think it's wrong.
Yeah.
But...
he had 4 known about affairs that everybody knew about and was completely fine with?
Known about, yes, but we're talking...
Hillary's completely fine with it.
Well, Hillary has her own affairs, according to some.
Oh, yeah.
I think Roger Stone is right. I think Uma Aberdeen... I think she's been sent, probably by a foreign government, to keep Hillary Clinton happy so they can get whatever they want.
Doesn't she have ties with the Saudis?
She does. Yeah. She absolutely does. And her parents are strict radical Muslims who have ties to the Muslim Brotherhood, I believe.
Oh, nice.
But you talk about affairs, Monica Lewinsky is the famous one. Elizabeth Ward Grayson is another. Connie Hamsey is another. Jennifer Flowers is another. Dolly Kyle Browning is another. Sally Millie Perdue is another. And Lincola Sullivan is another. These are the ones we know about. Bill Clinton once, when hearing about an athlete's sexual prowess, the man, I'm not going to even say his name, who said he bedded 20,000 women over his life, Bill once publicly quipped, "Wow, I only got 1/10 of that." So, call it extramarital affairs.
So, 200.
Yeah, I only had to, and that's probably the ones he kept track of.
Yeah. So, if he's known about raping at least 6 women, I don't know statistics, but most of them never say anything, so we can imagine that it's probably upwards to 100.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. And not counting the many statutory rapes on Jeffrey Epstein's island.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you can't
Who
even...
knows what went on there?
Nobody knows except the 4 women
Probably
themselves.
Had boxes of cigars.
He used them as his own personal humidors. That's right.
God.
This is from Heavy.com. Eileen Wellstone was a 19-year-old woman Clinton is alleged to have met at a pub while he was a student at Oxford University. So this is after he got kicked out of the Rhodes Scholar program for raping.
Yeah.
Of course, that's been buried under the rug, but we now know it's true.
Serial rapist.
Now, the State Department employee said he spoke with the girl's family and they declined to pursue the case. This is in 1969. So you've got to wonder what kind of pull Bill Clinton had way back then to be able to silence this woman. Because she then later said, well, okay, it was consensual, after wanting to press the charge. Sandra Allen James is another rape victim. She's a former Washington, D.C. political, or not rape victim, but sexual assault victim, I believe. She was a political fundraiser, and in 1999, she told Capitol Hill Blue that she had been sexually assaulted by Clinton in 1991. She said, notice there's similarities here. She said she was invited to his hotel room during his presidential campaign. She claims he pinned her against the wall and stuck his hand up her dress. She says she screamed loud enough for the Arkansas state trooper stationed outside the hotel suite to bang on the door and ask if everything was all right, at which point Clinton released her and fled the room. When she reported the incident to her boss, he advised her to keep her mouth shut if she wanted to keep working.
Jesus.
So, hotel room, pinned the woman against the wall. I guess luckily for her that there were police there, neutral parties who couldn't be kept. You know, we say neutral, but Secret Service apparently isn't so neutral on this.
No.
You know, we could jump right into the Jeffrey Epstein case. Just like Bill Clinton jumped aboard disgraced sex offender Jeffrey Epstein's Lolita Express plane for junkets 26 times in just 3 years. And this is from the Daily Mail. Flight logs reviewed by Fox News show Clinton took 26 trips aboard Epstein's Boeing 727 jets. Epstein's jet was reportedly set up with a bed where guests had group sex with young girls. One of them, Virginia Guffrey, has claimed she was lured into joining Epstein's harem when she was just 15 years old. The former teen prostitute says she was used as a sex slave. Roberts, now 32, claimed she saw Clinton in 2002 on Epstein's junket to St. Thomas, his private island where he kept his harem and he entertained politicians, businessmen, heads of states.
They're all into that stuff.
Well,
lots of them.
You know, except for Donald Trump. When he was invited to one of his parties and he saw the young girls playing in the pool out front, he reportedly said to his driver, "Oh, look at that. That's so nice of Jeffrey. He lets the neighborhood girls use his pool." Then when Trump went inside and saw what was actually happening, he stayed for about 5 minutes and made an excuse to leave.
And didn't he ban him from his casino?
I believe so.
Yep.
And can you blame him? I wouldn't want this sick SOB anywhere near me. Flight logs filed with the Federal Aviation Administration show Clinton brought at least 10 Secret Service people with him on some of his ordeals.
Jesus.
Which they must have been complicit.
Oh, I'm sure they were.
Except for the one who wrote the book, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean...
Well, don't you remember them Secret Service guys getting in trouble a few years ago for all that prostitution?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
Somewhere in Europe.
They abused taxpayer funds to buy prostitutes and have extreme sex parties.
Yeah.
Well, you know, they were only emulating what the top did. A journey to Asia in 2002 didn't list any Secret Service protection. As a former president, Clinton still gets a taxpayer-funded security detail for life. So, you gotta wonder exactly what was going on where Clinton said, no, my free security. You guys stay behind. This one's just for me.
God, yeah, who knows? Asia, anything goes there, so.
Well, and on the private airplane, who knows?
Yeah. All the dead bodies, everything.
We shouldn't laugh, but it's hilarious to imagine this man being our first lady.
Yeah.
We'll be right back with more about Epstein and Clinton in the next segment.